Today we will be discussing the December 17 daily current affairs. Today we have 6 topics to discuss. These topics include maximum residue level MRL, then International Council for Monuments and Sites or ICOMOS, then Interpol, the International Criminal Police Organization, then VIJAY DIWAS, AAREY Forest, and the Antimicrobial Resistance Surveillance and Research Network within India. So these are the 6 different topics which we will be discussing today. Let us start with the maximum residue level or MRL. Basically what we mean by residue is the traces pesticides leave in treated products. So traces that pesticides leave in treated products is what we mean by residue. Now maximum residue level is basically the highest level of pesticide residue that is allowed. So highest level of pesticide residue that is legally tolerated on food or feed products when pesticides are applied correctly. So that is what we mean by maximum residue level. So it is basically the highest level of pesticide residue that is legally tolerated. So I hope you are getting the idea. Now recently why this was frequently appearing in the news was due to the fact that Indian food exports are being affected or being reduced due to the fact that it is being detected that the level of pesticides is exceeding the prescribed maximum residue limits. So due to that the Indian food exports are being affected. Then with respect to food standards, there is a term that we need to study with respect to the prelims point of view, the Codex Alimentarius. Codex Alimentarius basically it's a collection of internationally adopted food standards and related texts which are presented in a uniform manner. So Codex Alimentarius is a collection of internationally adopted food standards as well as related texts which are presented in a uniform manner. Now a very important international organization that appeared in today's news articles frequently was the International Council for Monuments and Sites. This is very, very important. Now, ICOMOS or International Council for Monuments and Sites basically, it is a non-governmental international organization. See, this is the first thing you need to note down. See, whenever we are studying an international organization, we need to have an idea whether it's an international governmental organization or whether it is a non-governmental organization. So ICOMOS is a non-governmental organization dedicated to conservation of the world's monuments and sites. So it's a non-governmental organization. It is actually the only non-governmental organization that is working in this particular area. That is why it is very, very important. And another speciality of this ICOMOS is that it is dedicated to promoting the application of theory, methodology and scientific techniques. See, this is what it is all about. It is basically all about using scientific techniques for the conservation of architectural and archaeological heritage all around the world. That is what ICOMOS is all about. And another important fact that we need to study from the prelims point of view with respect to ICOMOS is that it is an advisory body of the World Heritage Committee for the implementation of the World Heritage Convention of UNESCO. So it is an advisory body of the World Heritage Committee for the implementation of the World Heritage Convention of UNESCO. Now recently why this appeared in the news is very important for us as it is important with respect to India. Now recently what happened was that the General Assembly of ICOMOS recently happened and this time the Symposium and General Assembly of International Council for Monuments and Sites or ICOMOS was successfully conducted in Delhi. See, that is the importance. See, this General Assembly of ICOMOS is only conducted once in every 3 years. That is why it is very important. And this is the first time it is being organized in India. It was conducted in Delhi. And the theme of this symposium, which was conducted as part of this General Assembly of ICOMOS this year, was Heritage and Democracy. And after this ICOMOS General Assembly, a declaration called Delhi Declaration on Heritage and Democracy was adopted. So UPSC can ask us questions like Delhi Declaration on Democracy and Heritage is related to which organization? So the answer is ICOMOS. Then also the International Criminal Police Organization or Interpol was also frequently in news. Interpol basically It is the world's largest international police organization. It has around 192 member countries. Then recently, one reason why Interpol was in news just 1 or 2 months back was due to the fact that recently Interpol accepted Palestine as a full member, and this was a major controversy which certain countries like Israel, USA, etc. opposed. And another thing from the prelims point of view that we need to study regarding Interpol is that Interpol General Secretariat is located in Lyon in France. Now, right now, why Interpol is appearing in the news is basically due to the fact that the Interpol has turned down a request by the National Investigation Agency of India or NIA in order to put a red corner notice on Zakir Naik. There is a lot of technical problems or procedural hurdles, and the NIA has clarified its position saying that it will be making another request with the Interpol to make to put on a red corner notice against the controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik. Now, what do we mean by a red notice or a red corner notice? See, basically a red notice is a request to locate and provisionally arrest an individual who is pending extradition. That is what an Interpol red corner notice means. Now, the peculiarity of December 16 is that every year December 16 is commemorated as VIJAY Diwas. Now, why is it called a VIJAY Diwas? It marks the anniversary of a historic victory of the Indian Armed Forces. See, December 16 was the day in which on 1979 the declaration of ceasefire was signed after that 1971 war. So it marks or it commemorates a historic or one of the greatest victories of Indian Armed Forces or Pakistan. And another peculiarity of that day was that after this declaration of ceasefire, there was the birth of the sovereign country of Bangladesh. So on that 1971 Bangladeshi liberation war, India helped Bangladesh to be an independent country and saved it from the wrath of the West Pakistani establishment. Now, the next topic to discuss is with respect to the AAREY forest. Now, we will try to learn this topic through a question. So, let us try to discuss this question. AAREY forest recently in news is located in option A Maharashtra, option B Kerala, C Karnataka, and option D Bihar. So what is the right answer? Basically, AAREY forest is located in Maharashtra. So option A is the right answer. Now let us have a look at this prelims important facts related to AAREY forest. This AAREY forest basically it is known as Mumbai's green lung. Now why this was recently in news was due to the fact that the Maharashtra government wants to give a part of this ecologically sensitive zone in order to make a metro car shed. That is why it is in news. But environmentalist groups as well as civil society organizations and citizen groups in Mumbai, they are protesting against that moves, as they are saying that this particular ecologically sensitive area or this forest is home to several species of birds, insects and leopards. So it's a highly controversial issue. The other things that we need to note down here is that this forest was once part of the adjoining Sanjay Gandhi National Park, and basically initially there was 3,000 acres of forest land in northern Mumbai as part of this AAREY forest, and right now it has been reduced to a mere 1,300 acres. Basically, the environmentalists in Mumbai are fighting in order to defend what they believe is the last greenery that is located in the city. As always, you can use our daily current affairs material in order to get a detailed analysis on today's daily current affairs topics. Now, our last major topic of discussion for today's daily current affairs is Antimicrobial Resistance Surveillance Research Network. See, India is a country that is highly plagued by antimicrobial resistance, and antimicrobial resistance is rising in a very alarming way in India. So in order to tackle this issue, the Indian Council of Medical Research or ICMR has set up an organization or a body called National Antimicrobial Resistance Research and Surveillance Network. So there is this network called National Antimicrobial Resistance and Research and Surveillance Network. Now, even though we have created that kind of a antimicrobial resistance research network, but still the issue of antimicrobial resistance is alarmingly rising in India. So while considering that particular fact, the Indian Medical Association or IMA has recently advised doctors to follow strict guidelines while prescribing antibiotics. So that is why this antimicrobial resistance surveillance research network was recently in news. Now in order to get a much more detailed idea on antimicrobial resistance and how can we tackle antimicrobial resistance, you can watch another video by Neo IAS on antimicrobial resistance. We have made a detailed discussion on the matter on that particular video.